You hear the phrase garden-grown skincare more and more these days, but what does it actually mean? At InVine Botanicals in Tallahassee, Florida, it isn't a marketing line. It's the literal first step of how everything we make begins. Most skincare, even most natural skincare, doesn't begin in a garden at all. It begins with ingredients and extracts bought in bulk from suppliers, blended together in a facility. Garden grown means the opposite. Every herb in our balm starts as a living plant in the ground, grown right here in our own Tallahassee garden in full Florida sun. We grow it ourselves, from seed and from cuttings, and tend it by hand through the whole season. Nothing is ordered in by the drum. Dozens of herbs share these beds: the rosemary, the mints, lemon balm, basil, calendula, fennel, and more, most of them headed for the balms and cremes. Tallahassee sits in North Florida, which gives us a long growing season and a demanding one. The summers here are hot and humid, and that is punishing for a lot of herbs. So the garden works in waves. Rosemary, basil, lemongrass, and the mints take the heat and run right through the summer. Chamomile, cilantro, and dill are winter crops here, and they go in when the nights finally cool. The garden sets the calendar, and we follow it. If a plant is not ready, we wait. Growing our own also means we choose the plants for the right reasons. A grower selling to florists or supermarkets picks varieties that travel well and hold their shape on a shelf. We pick for scent and for the character a leaf will carry into the oil. When each herb reaches its peak, we harvest it by hand, a little at a time, with shears. We only take what we need for the next small batch so the plants stay healthy and keep giving all season long. Everything we cut goes straight into a basket and comes indoors fresh, often within minutes of being picked. That freshness is the whole point of growing it yourself. That matters more than it sounds, because the aromatic oils in a leaf are volatile. They fade with time, with heat, and with rough handling. So we cut in the morning, once the dew has lifted and before the day turns hot, and the herbs are on a drying screen within the hour. A bundle of fresh cut herbs like this is the real starting material of every product we make. From there, the herbs are dried slowly on screen racks for anywhere from 4 to 9 days, depending on the plant. We dry them in a climate-controlled room, around 76 degrees, low humidity, and in the dark, which protects the color and the aromatic oils in the leaves. We turn them by hand as they dry, and they are ready when a leaf snaps cleanly instead of bending. Any moisture still left in a leaf will spoil an oil infusion weeks later, and you would not find out until the whole batch smelled wrong. Then the dried herbs are slow infused into organic oils for 6 to 8 weeks, in cool, dark conditions, never in the sun. This is the step that carries the garden into the oil. Growing our own changes what we can put in the jar, too. We use the whole dried herb, leaf, and flower and stem steeped in oil for weeks, rather than a standardized extract that arrives already made. And we cut each plant at the moment it is ready, rather than when someone else's schedule says so. That is a small thing, and it is not something you can buy. That infused oil is strained, then blended with beeswax and vitamin E for the balms, or with mango butter for the cremes. Then it is poured and capped by hand in small batches. And that becomes the finished balms and creams, every one of them traceable back to a specific bed in our garden and a specific week of harvest. It is worth being specific about what actually grows out here, because the ones that end up in a jar each have a job. Lemongrass, lemon balm, rosemary, sweet basil, and lemon mint go into our bug bite balm. Peppermint, spearmint, and lemon thyme go into our breathe-free balm. Ginger, turmeric, and cayenne go into muscle revive balm. Rose, rosemary, and spearmint go into our rose renewal creme, and moringa and echinacea, both grown in these same beds, go into the moringa face cream. And every jar is finished with a printed label carrying its own batch number and its infusion date. So garden grown isn't about a single ingredient. It's about owning the entire chain, from the seed in the soil to the jar on your shelf. It means we know exactly what's in every jar, exactly how it was grown, and exactly where it came from, because we did every step ourselves. It's a slower, smaller way to make skincare. You can't grow a warehouse full of herbs overnight. It also puts a ceiling on us, and we accept that. A bed yields what a bed yields, and an infusion takes 6 to 8 weeks, no matter how much we might want it sooner. We cannot simply order more when something sells out, but it's the only way we know to make something we can stand behind completely, grown by hand and harvested at its peak. That's what garden-grown skincare means at InVine Botanicals. From our Tallahassee garden, by hand to your jar. You can find all of our garden-grown balms and creams at invinebotanicals.com. Thanks for spending a little time in the garden with us.